Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about my top 3 concealers. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. I do want to let you know, just so that you have a reference point, when it comes to concealers, what I'm looking for. So I do have dry under eye, so I'm looking for something to provide some hydration, some moisture. I don't want anything that's too mattifying or too thick or too heavy, because that's just going to suck all the life out of that. Not to mention, because I do have lines and wrinkles and texture, I don't want anything heavy settling in to all that I have going on. And of course, I know because I have lines and wrinkles, it's gonna crease. That's just the way it is. But I feel like if I go in with a lighter type of concealer, it's going to wear a little bit better than, say, if I went in there with a really heavy matte type of concealer. So I like to reach for concealers that are hydrating, moisturizing, normally considered serum concealers. Most of the time they're very liquidy, very light. They come with a little bit more skin loving ingredients like antioxidants, vitamin E, things like that, and they don't carry the title of matte or full coverage or anything like that. So those are the type of concealers I'm normally reaching for because of my under eye situation. Now I do have 3 that I rotate constantly. I might try something else depending on what's going on, but these are the 3 I always go back to. I'm going to start with the OG, the very first serum concealer that I ever used that changed the game for me, and that is the BareMinerals Bare Skin Complete Coverage Serum Concealer. And I apologize, this tube is so dirty. Now I do have a full review here on my channel on this concealer, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I do have mine in the color Dark to Deep. This I love because it's just so hydrating. It's a very liquidy light type of concealer, and the tone is perfect. I use it right here in the inner corner where I have most of the darkness. I add a little bit of a lighter concealer here on the outsides, and then I just blend all that together. I will say, because this is such a liquidy type of concealer, it does have a tendency and it can move around on you. So I will definitely say apply it, let it sit for as long as you possibly can, then go in and blend it out. That's really going to help keep that locked in place so it doesn't move around on you. But again, I would highly recommend you check out the full review, because that's going to show you a wear test, me applying it, and some other pros and cons to this concealer. But this is my absolute favorite concealer. My only downfall with it would be the fact that it comes in a very minimal shades. I have no idea why, because BareMinerals offers a whole bunch of shades and everything else. So that's the only downfall about this particular one, but I always come back to this concealer. In fact, I had neglected it for a while. I hadn't used it in a long time, pulled it back out, and remember why. It was the first serum concealer that I ever used that I fell in love with, and it helped me realize exactly what type of formula of concealer would work best for my under eye situation. The next one I want to talk about is the Full Spectrum CoverGirl All Day Idle Brightening Concealer. Now this is another one that I do have a full review here on my channel. I did review it with the Full Spectrum foundation. Fell in love with this one. Again, I love how light and I like how liquidy this particular concealer is. It does provide some hydration. It does provide moisture. When I put this on underneath the eye, it does glisten. It almost gives it like a sheen. It doesn't look dry or cakey, and it provides beautiful coverage, and it wears well throughout the day. This might be the lightest coverage out of all of them, so if I'm really having a really dark day, let's say I don't get enough sleep or whatever it is, if I'm really waking up to some serious darkness underneath the eye, I will go in and color correct first. But on a normal basis, if I'm getting my sleep, I'm drinking my water, I'm taking my supplements, I'm doing all that, then this normally wears beautifully. So I really do love this full review here, so definitely check it out for the wear test, application, and all that good stuff. The last one I want to talk about is the Smashbox Studios Skin 24-Hour Waterproof Concealer. This one right here. I actually got this in an Ipsy bag. Didn't like it when I originally got it, and it was a while ago, so I don't know if maybe it was because the condition of my eye was at its worst, or the condition of my under eye was at its driest. It was at its worst. But I went back in and picked this back up, and I fell in love with it. It's got a beautiful, beautiful flow to it. It applies beautifully. It is very liquid fluidy, not runny, but see how fluid that is across the skin. And I love the tone of this color. It's almost got a lot of orange in it, which helps with color correction at the same time as just concealing. I just love the tone of it. This is perfect for right here in the inner corner. It applies smoothly, it blends out beautifully, it wears and sits very well. It provides great coverage. I just love the way it wears. I love the way it looks. I do have it on today, and I will insert a close-up picture so that you can see what it looks like up close underneath the eye. But this, it's beautiful. It doesn't let me down. This I have in the color dark, and it is 0.08 fluid ounces. This is so beautiful on the skin. I absolutely love it. It makes my under eye look nice and hydrated, and as long as I go in with a light hand with my setting powder, everything looks great. So I want to also mention a couple of things that I think are important when it comes to under eye, especially if you have dry under eye like myself, but under eyes period. It really starts with your skincare and your hydration. You've got to make sure you're drinking enough water. You got to make sure you're using your eye cream. You've got to make sure that you're getting all the nutrients you need, so making sure you're paying attention to that diet. I take supplements, and that really helps as well, but I've noticed the combination of all of that has really improved my under eye. It's still dry, I still have the lines, I still have the wrinkles, I still have the texture, and I still have the darkness, but making sure that I'm taking care of what I can from a skincare and nutrition perspective has really changed the game for me. No matter what we do, guys, it's going to crease. You've got lines underneath there. There's nothing you can do. Your concealer is going to crease, and that's normally not my concern. If it's gonna crease, it's gonna crease. I've got lines, I can't expect not to. I just want it to provide nice coverage. I want it to provide hydration. I don't want my under eye to look just sucked dry and just depleted. You know, I want it to look nice and plump and moisturized. I want it to provide coverage. I want it to wear beautifully throughout the day. And you know, I just want my under eye to look as healthy as the rest of my face does. And again, with skincare and nutrition, these are my go-to concealers. I will say that the full spectrum is the most affordable one. This, I believe, comes in around $11 or $12, but again, definitely check out that full review. And then the other two, the BareMinerals and the Smashbox, are a little bit more on the pricier side, but I do think that they are beautiful concealers that are definitely worth the purchase, and they do a fantastic job of doing everything I expect an under eye concealer to do and wear for me throughout the day. So those are my top 3 concealers. If you've got the same under eye issues as I do, then I would highly recommend you check one of these out. Don't forget the reviews on the BareMinerals as well as the full spectrum, so you can get the full information from the rooted to the tuta if that's something that you are interested in. If you have a same under eye situation, definitely comment down below with your favorite concealer, because I feel like concealer is one of those things that's pretty personal, and it's all based on what that under eye area is like for you. And so it's really important to understand when you're talking about reviews or when you're talking about products, it's very important to understand how your particular under eye situation matches to what someone's saying when they're reviewing the products. And that's how you're gonna know or feel a little bit more confident about making that purchase and making that product work for you. So I hope this information helps someone else out there. If it did, please give this video a thumbs up. And while you're here on my channel, take a look around, see what else your girl has to offer. And if you're liking what you're seeing, hit that subscribe button. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.